Okay, should be live. You cool if I'm screaming?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay. Then okay. That should be all good. Voice training stream is the plan. Indeed, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hi. Okay, so let's see. I actually don't know what to do exactly. Funny enough. Because here we should be able to go. I think this one's alright. We'll put this in theater mode. Just for better viewing. Yo, this is your fault, Morgan. Because I don't actually know exactly how to do... Oh, hang on. You've watched this channel? Yeah, me too. This isn't my first time watching this video. And it looks like my expressions are way off right now. But it is too complicated, yeah. So I'm gonna have to be a little careful with the expressions because I recently changed the settings a little bit to the simplified version, but it looks to me like that has not quite... Okay, well, hi Sharky. Hopefully the surprise face isn't too bad. You'll send me a link for a voice training program. Awesome, thank you. I will appreciate that. We're going to go... Hang on, really quick. Because it bothers me. Oh, you know what else? I almost forgot. Whoops. Oh, I forgot. Okay, there's that. I need my Discord up. So as soon as this loads in. Okay, just give me 1 second. Also, I changed the stream avatars settings so that now if you haven't chosen one, it does a random one instead, which I think is much better. Anyhow, that looks to be all up to date now. Then we will go here to there. Click here. Oh, that's funny. One of the links here is purple. Oh, that's because it's a link to this. Where's here? Alright. So. That definitely looks... Alright, so. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot to put my model back up. Okay, we want settings, expression settings. Then surprise, we want this to be a hold for sure. Let's see, where is it? I do want some, well, okay. I'll look into it more later. For now, we will just not have expressions, because it's much easier than having weird ones. Anyhow, we do need to make a bit of a decision. I need music, I feel like. Hang on. Because I'm getting sort of weirded out not hearing anything for this long, right? We'll just put this over here even. Like so. This seems perfect. So we'll just put this on while we're talking. Then here's that program. I'm not signed in. So, basically, we've got to decide if we want to be looking at this first or if we want to be listening to this video first. Right? And I guess we can do a poll about it. Yeah, I should have thought out a plan for this before getting started. But we will figure it out as we go. So we're gonna make it a poll. So we'll go like this, right? So now you guys can help me decide what we're doing for that. Because I actually don't know. And we're not making decisions. What's the Reddit post? The Reddit post is this one here. Who the Real Thea just sent it to me on Discord. Basically. It's all this. So basically I'd either be reading this out loud to you as we talk about it, or we'd... Oh, where'd the... Hang on. That's strange. Disappeared. Well, anyway, we'll put it back. We're not starting that yet. We're gonna resume that too. You've seen that Reddit post before? I'm not super surprised. So yeah, it's either this or this to start. And it looks like it's 50-50 so far, so I just don't get any help. I don't get to make you guys make my decisions for me, it seems. So, I think as the vote runs out, only two people voted. Yeah, but we don't want to like coerce people into voting, you know? So, let's see. Yeah, it's a tie. So what we're gonna do is we're probably gonna watch this video first, because that's slightly more interactive for you guys to watch. So we're gonna be looking over this and sort of like reaction content, almost. I think that starting with this video will be a good idea. So tell me if there's anything you guys want me to comment on more or do differently, that sort of thing.
Hi there, it's your girl Z from transvoicelessons.com. Today we are going to talk about where to begin in voice feminization. This video is intended for complete beginners, but it will be helpful regardless of your proficiency level. If you felt confused, overwhelmed, aimless, or...
Not the React brain rot. I know, it sucks. But at the same time, I'm trying to I mean, watching something is more interesting than just like watching the screen as I talk, I feel like. So because this is a moving picture rather than the relatively still picture, it'll be a good way to start. And besides, we've got plenty of time to do both, I think, or at least get started with both. We'll probably finish this video, especially if I go 1.25 and captions on.
Or lost, this video is for you. So let's get started.
1.25, you hardly even
Part
need the
1,
captions.
the beginning. Voice is all about understanding what to listen for and what to take action towards. By listening first and listening carefully, we can better process our experiences and navigate towards our goals. There are two
Listening is... I remember doing like speech therapy when I was younger because I couldn't say my S properly. I don't think I can do it properly now anyway, but that's besides the point. Besides the point. Something. I don't know. But yeah, they always had you like hold up one of those curved things to your ear so that you could talk into it and you'd hear it better. It was funny.
two primary keys we need to listen for at first. So let's listen carefully. Key number
Yeah, we're immediately turning that back down to there so we can
1.
do better.
Pitch. Let's listen to the sound of pitch moving around. You hear that? That is pitch. It's the sound of high and low. It makes things sound like they are rising or falling. Most people are already aware that there is a difference in pitch between masculine and feminine speakers. Maybe you've even tried to raise your pitch already, but instead it made you sound strained or uncomfortable. Maybe you've even heard me say that pitch isn't that important and everyone spends too much time on pitch. Why is this? Well, you see, there's actually another element going on that's even more important for us to listen to it first than pitch, but it's a lot less obvious. So
once I was practicing with some random person from Twitter, and they were like, yeah, it just sounds like you, but slightly higher pitched. And I'm like, oh no, that's not what I wanted. I mean, it's basically the right goal, technically, because higher pitched in general helps, but it was not the right thing to tell me at that moment because I was figuring things out.
So let's go ahead and take a listen to this other thing. Key number 2, vocal weight.
I thought they were going to say resonance.
So now we're going to be listening for different amounts
It's been a little
of
while since
vocal
I watched.
weight. It sounds like buzziness or less buzziness. Let's take a listen.
That's probably one I'm going to be focusing on a lot, I think, is this one. Yeah.
Hear that sound? It's like really buzzy or less buzzy. That is vocal weight. It's the sound of intensity and forcefulness. It makes things sound buzzier and more dense. It's generally a masculine vocal cue, and it massively influences how our pitch behaves. See, it's not that we care about weight or pitch by themselves. It's that we care about the interaction between these two things. The first fundamental goal in voice feminization is to sound relaxed, comfortable, and reduce the effort that it takes to get to higher pitches. With too much weight, this pitch area will feel strained, unsustainable, and it will sound too harsh. If we get to a higher pitch with a whole lot of weight, 1, 2, 3, it's going to be very difficult for you to maintain that. It's not going to sound very feminine. It's going to stand out as being labored. So we care about the interaction between pitch and weight, and this is the best place for beginners to start.
Okay.
So at this point, we've talked about two different things, weight and pitch. By now, you should loosely understand the concepts and loosely understand what it sounds like. Now, the next important question is, what actions do we need to take? If we're just getting started in voice feminization, what is the simplest, most straightforward thing we can start doing? Okay, so to help you get started taking action, let's go ahead and do a little bit of basic pitch mimicry. This will be helpful for us just to get our hands dirty with sound. So do your best and try to mimic along with me.
Hang on. I wasn't paying attention. There was an ad break I had to snooze.
Best and try to mimic along with me. So I hope you were able to match my pitch without much difficulty. The reason why we did that is because we just did one of the hardest things in the entire process. We took action. So that was just some basic pitch exploration, and that's honestly amazing to do. If you're just getting started, you can just play with your voice. Just move your pitch around and have fun with it.
It's a good thing I do that
similarly
anyway.
to the pitch mimicry exercise we were doing a moment ago, I also want to do some really basic weight mimicry because we just want to make sure that we can get the real basics out of the way before we get to these exercises a little later. So I'm going to make some sounds and I want you to make them back to me. We're going to start really light as if we're trying to talk to like a cute little kitten like that, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to try and like sound a lot like angrier. Okay? And if you hear that, there's a significant difference in the intensity, the loudness, and most importantly, the buzziness between those two sounds. Let's try and do that again. So this time we're going to make a light sound like so. Almost like a yawn. It's very smooth. Notice how it's not very buzzy.
Interesting, yeah.
And now we're going to try to add weight. So that is what it feels like to make basic movements of weight. The intensity, the loudness, and most importantly, the buzziness changes. Now, in order for us to really get some value for feminization, now we need to think about how pitch and weight work together. So I'm going to give you 3 simple exercises to play around with to help you understand how pitch and weight influence each other.
Exercise
number 1. Humming and sliding. So let's all go ahead here and make a heavy and low-pitched humming sound. You should be able to feel that it's kind of buzzy. You should be able to feel that it's probably lower than what you want. And then we're going to try to move it up in pitch so we end up with a very heavy and high kind of sound. Like so. Do you hear that gets louder, it gets more forceful, it gets more intense? That's what it sounds like if we keep heavy weight while we go high. Now let's try and do the same thing, but reduce weight while we go higher. One, two, three. 'em. Then if we start to find the quality that we're looking for, that lighter and higher sound, we can try to casually shift it into speech and see if we can maintain it. The goal of this exercise is to contrast the difference between being heavy and going higher and being light and going higher. They have very different sounds and very different feelings. So we would want you to play around with this and to try to find a higher, lighter, and cleaner sound. Exercise number 2. Heavy, heavy, light. We're going to start at a lower pitch and a much heavier sound, and we're going to try and incrementally step up in pitch, like so. Then we try and do it again, but this time the third one we make light. 1, 2, 2, 3.
3.
The purpose of this exercise is to contrast two heavy sounds with a much higher sound that lightens out. It'll be increasingly harder for you to go higher in pitch with that heavy sound, so try to think about making that third sound very comfortable.
I'm kind of struggling to keep the heavy one higher. I'm wondering if that's a control issue. Something to think about. Or I might just be doing it heavy the whole time, and I don't know what it feels like to do it light. That's one of the difficult things. I feel like... no.
Very easy, very relaxed. Make sure you go high enough as well. Sometimes people who don't have a lot of vocal experience will do something like this. And we're not looking for that. We're looking for a much bigger contrast between the two qualities. Let's go ahead and take a couple more listens to this exercise.
Blue, 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 blue,
blue. Exercise number 3. Using a pitch tracker and experimenting. A pitch tracker like this shows us what our pitch is doing.
Alright. That'll be helpful. Link in description, you say. Click. 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 Okay. Configure. We go like this. Allow. Testing. Ooh. Oh, there it is. Ooh. 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 Well. Ooh. 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 Interesting. Okay. I see. Well. Oh, hello. Hello. Hello, everyone. Interesting. Yeah. This is definitely probably going to be the thing I spend the most time looking at. Because if I can try and raise everything up a little, that would make sense. I mean, obviously that's not the main point of their video. It was to make the lighter sound as you raise it up. So, reduce weight. But I'm noticing it's down here-ish. And I want it to be up here-ish, methinks. That's probably the right move. Oh. Don't quite know the right... Configure. Stop. Let's see. Y'all are back from the ad break, I think? Good. Oh, interesting. Probably want that on then. Okay. Testing. Okay. Meow. Yeah, I don't know if any of y'all ever saw that one silly trick that people said helped. Was doing like meowing to yourself to raise the pitch. Or rather meowing in successively higher pitches. And it wouldn't just be like meow. It'd be going full on meow, 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 meow. And seeing if that helped at all. And that did seem to help a tiny bit, but I was doing it wrong, I think. definitely worth looking into a little more. You heard of that? Yeah. let's look at
Reason
this.
it's extremely valuable for people who are less musically inclined. You can do all
Theirs is around 200, right up here. Ooh. So that's probably like minimum where we want to have things. So like raise it up by 50.
of the previous exercises that we've already done while watching a pitch tracker, and that would be honestly great for you.
Okay, so basically just repeat these exercises while looking at that. Works for me.
Exercise number 1, humming and sliding. So
Okay. Ooh. Don't quite know. I feel like if I do a bit of a British accent, that's slightly higher, but not enough higher. Interesting to take note of, though. So
let's all go ahead here and make a heavy and low-pitched humming sound.
here, let's actually. Oh, hang on.
Exercise number this
Where was
shows
I?
us what our pitches do. Exercises that we've already done while watching a pitch tracker, and that would be honestly great for you. But what we're going to do this time is we're going to try and start low and heavy. And we're going to try to bring our pitch up until it kind of feels like it gets stuck a little bit, like and not everyone's going to get stuck there, but a significant majority of beginners do. And if you're part of that group that gets stuck there,
I feel like I'm having a hard time keeping the heaviness there. Like it naturally wants to get lighter as I go up. And I'm not quite certain how to not do that. So that's going to be interesting to figure out. And obviously the goal is to get it lighter, but if I can like mechanically in my throat figure out how it feels to do one over the other intentionally, then it'd be easier to actually, you know, do the other one intentionally. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. Kind of tricky.
there, what we're going to try and do is we're going to keep going up to that point, and then when we get to that point, we're going to relax and try to go higher, like so. And if we start to get that sound, that lighter, higher sound, then we're actually going to try and go back down and keep it light, like so. And now you hear when I go down, it doesn't sound so heavy or intense or masculine.
Oh, interesting.
It actually sounds like I'm reaching the bottom of my vocal range, but it's only like there, you know? So I'll do that same thing again from the beginning. And I can't really go any lower than that at that point unless I get heavier. So this is an amazing exercise for everybody to try out. Exercise number.
Okay, let's look at this a little. Huh, interesting. Now let's try different. Need a breath there. Oh, interesting. Interesting indeed. Yeah.
Number 4, creaking and exploring different amounts of vocal weight. Now this exercise is a bit of a bonus, and unless your creak is very relaxed, which some beginners can just do right away, then it's probably not going to be very useful for you. So we're going to start with this relaxed creak. And we're going to shift from that into both a heavy and light sound to contrast and compare the differences. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Now I'm going to go higher and lighter. It feels incredibly relaxed. It feels incredibly low effort, and it really allows us to physically feel the difference between the two sounds.
Interesting. So the higher one feels more like a push, and the lower one feels more like a pull. Okay. Hang on. No. Not quite sure.
The most important thing about this exercise is that you're starting from a relaxed and stable creak. So we don't want any that's not a stable creak. We want something relaxed. And then try to move that heavier and lighter and see how it feels. Good luck.
Okay. Oh, thanks for being the first one here. Officially, anyway.
Now, after you explore these exercises and you're finding a quality that's lighter and more comfortable up high, then what you should try and do is work on speaking fluidly with it, like so.
I can kind of do that.
One, two, three, four. It's okay if it sounds like this at first. It's 1, 2.
It's kind of course, to being first, I think that's what you're doing. So, it does sound kind of sing-songy when I'm doing it higher up like that. And I guess that's part of my strategy almost for getting higher like that. Because, I don't know. Certainly tricky. Do I click this? No, it's fine.
3, 4, 5.
The key is that it's light and comfortable and fluid. So after you use these exercises and you start to find this quality, try to start utilizing it. That's where we get the usefulness out of it. We experiment because we're trying to create a wide variety of possible options.
Hang on. I'm seeing if I can nerf that. Strife will soon be illegal. Oh my. Hang on. I'm trying to see if I can nerf your point gain, because while I agree with you getting more for being subscribed, I don't know if I want it to be that much more. Oh well. You will simply be strong. You have the 1.2 times multiplier. People are getting points a lot faster than I thought then.
Options and experiences. Then out of those options we gain, we can start to work towards what sounds and feels best for us. As a general goal in feminization,
I mean, that's kind of a false idea. That's only 1.2? Yeah, that means everyone else is getting points a lot faster than I thought. Let's see.
Clear, pure, full, light, and higher voice during these exercises. If we wish to add noisiness, grittiness, or operate at a lower pitch, those are all totally fine and valid aesthetic options, but it helps in the beginning to work towards this very clean kind of target. It makes us less prone to making mistakes. Remember that the difference between a learning opportunity and a mistake is whether you are aware of it or not. If you're doing something wrong and you're not aware that you're doing something wrong, that is a mistake. If you're doing something wrong, but you know it's wrong,
I'm making mistakes,
that is a question and a problem to solve, and those are some of the most exciting moments in vocal development. After exploring a range of different sounds and finding something close to the target, work to casually and fluidly speak with that quality.
Okay.
So let me show you all
Still
exactly what my
tricky.
voice sounds like if I completely remove my resonance modification, but I keep my weight and my pitch the same.
Okay, so it's like this, like, do you hear that? Like, it's very smooth, it's very pure, it's like comfortably operating at higher pitches. This is actually what a feminized vocal foundation sounds like with no smaller vocal tract. So like if we took like an average cis-fem voice and then we expanded the vocal tract, you'd get a sound that's something kind of like this. It's totally fine if you sound like this at first, because our first priority is making sure that your pitch is comfortable, that your voice is smooth, and that your speech feels balanced and sustainable. Oftentimes, people may play with weight and pitch, but get frustrated because they hear the voice is still off. There is more work to be done than just pitch and weight. There is more work to be done.
I don't know.
Weight modification,
Tricky.
but it's definitely where you'll want to get started at first.
It's got good pitch, it's got good weight, it's very comfortable.
And then I can just change the resonance on it in order to get the sound quality that I'm looking for.
Breathiness? I don't think I have a problem with breathiness.
In feminization, we need to avoid confusing breathiness for reduced weight. Being breathy does reduce your weight because it makes you sound less fuzzy, but it also introduces unwanted noise. So let's listen to some examples of breathiness versus our target sound. Ah, 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 ah,
ah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Trying to imitate just anything here. Seeing if I can puzzle it out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you find you keep going breathy, there are some possible tricks that you can take advantage of, but honestly, the most reliable solution to fix it is to over-exaggerate it and then work to reduce the over-exaggeration. There are many reasons why you might end up being too breathy, but the simplest solution for all is to experiment, process, and make incremental change towards your goal. Why is this so important?
We're going to go over this just in case
will
it
require
helps.
a little bit of theory to help us. Let's imagine that the sound of vocal weight is created by the mass of the vocal folds, how thick or dense they are. And pitch, instead, is created by how fast the vocal folds move. Testosterone causes the vocal folds to grow and swell, which increases their mass. This increased mass causes masculine voices to be buzzier than feminine voices on average.
Gotcha.
Additionally, since those vocal folds that were exposed to testosterone have more mass, they're resistant to moving faster and reaching higher pitches unless they're put under way more tension. You can think about it like a string. If the string is a lot thicker, we have to stretch it way harder to get it to go to a higher pitch. If we used a thinner string, we wouldn't have to stretch it as hard to make it reach that same pitch. By learning how to control your weight, you will allow yourself to reach higher pitches with less tension from the vocal folds. In essence, we can learn to raise our pitch by reducing weight instead of purely pulling the vocal folds tighter and adding tension. Certain combinations of mass and tension are perceived as more or less masculine at different pitch areas. A high tension, high mass voice at 200 hertz is going to sound more masculine than a low tension, low mass voice at 200 hertz. By learning to hear our vocal weight in relation to pitch, we can then use our ears to guide our body into shedding vocal weight, which allows us to reach those higher feminine pitch areas with far less tension, which allows us to maintain and sustain it much easier. Therefore, training weight and pitch is both foundational and functional, and that is why we like to start with it first. Okay, so hold up a second. You'll notice that we didn't talk about
Notification. Okay.
resonance so far. And personally, I believe it is the most important element for effectively modifying the sex of a
Click.
voice. However, pitch and weight are both more foundational elements. Once we have a stable, clean, and light foundation, then we can begin modifying resonance for the best results. I actually used to teach resonance first in my students for about 3.5 years, and what I observed is that a resonance first approach is far more polarizing. Students will quickly succeed or quickly get stuck with very little in between. Resonance first can create the most shocking and dramatic results in the shortest amount of time, but it puts the cart before the horse for some people, and some people may have way more success starting with sound production, whereas others may have more success starting with resonance. In general, though, by practicing weight and pitch first, we can build a beautiful long-term foundation that supports our efforts for resonance modification. If you're getting started in this process and you have a singing background or voice background, it may be advisable for you to start with resonance first. If you've worked with an SLP or voice professional and you've already lightened your voice, or you feel your voice is light enough and high enough, then it's advisable to work on resonance. However, if you're an absolute beginner, it's typically better in the long term to start with both pitch and weight training together. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping. If you are absolutely brand new to doing anything with your voice, you will want to consider if you are a vocal underdoer. Vocal underdoers are individuals with a history of avoiding voice. They're often hard to hear, weak sounding, and seemingly slower to learn new vocal behaviors. Vocal underdoers typically use their voice less than an hour a day, and because of that, they have core vocal deficiencies which need to be addressed when getting started. If you are an underdoer, it's important to take time in the beginning of your vocal journey to simply play, experiment, and nourish the fundamentals of voice outside of a feminization context. Feminization will be made more difficult if these core deficiencies aren't addressed. These core deficiencies can be addressed by a host of vocal function exercises. I'll be making a video more on that in the future, but I'm sure Google Result can help you get started on those as well. So identify if you're a vocal underdoer and understand that the process may get started a little slower for you, but it's all good in the long run. You just have to build some of those core skills. The summary. So in conclusion, if you are an absolute beginner, you need to work on trying to lighten your voice while you go higher. Not just go higher and not just lighten your voice, but interact with them both at the same time so you can genuinely find a comfortable sound at a higher operational pitch. We can think of this as weight and pitch, or we can just think of this as being lighter and more comfortable when we go higher. But regardless, that is the first step that we want you to try and achieve in voice feminization. This step will make everything else so much easier. Resonance is commonly confused for weight in people's voices. And so by practicing this ahead of time, you're setting yourself up for long-term success.
All right.
The interaction between weight and pitch is one of the most fundamental relationships in all of voice. That is why it's so beneficial to start with. It doesn't just teach us about how to sound feminine or how to use our voice in a more healthy and sustainable way, but it also trains our interaction with sound. Sound production is very much the most basic of everything. It's creating sound. And any practice of sound production helps us much further down the road. Sound production is a little bit easier for beginners to hear than resonance, so it's very helpful for us to start there for those reasons as well. So in summary, what are you trying to do at first in voice feminization? You are trying to learn how to shed some weight and go higher so you can access high pitches without any strain or discomfort. Then you try to take that lighter and comfortable sound and use it in casual and fluid speech. What you're doing is building the foundational core to your feminine voice. You want to generate this beautiful stream of sound and then modify it with resonance after. Okay? So play around with the exercises provided here, listen to the targets, experiment, process your experience, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask down below. So that's all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any...
So, what we thinking? I do want to add, if you're just lurking, I did add a little redeem for lurking. I think it's quite neat. But anyway, very interesting. I feel like I don't quite know what to do about this. It's definitely good information. Definitely good information. Yeah, definitely interesting. I'm glad you agree. I feel like it's hard to know exactly what it feels, because like everyone's voice is different, right? So it's hard to tell exactly what feels like more weight and what feels like less weight. Because I can mess with the pitch as much as I want. I feel like, anyway. There are some aspects understood, but it's hard to compile it all together. I agree. So let's look over here for a bit. We look at over here. Hey friend, want to change your voice? Well, you can. That's an option. Your voice is much more malleable than you may realize. There are at least a dozen different dimensions that you can learn to control independently to change the sound of your voice. The way you talk right now is not your one true voice, it is a habit. A habit that can be changed if you so choose. I like to come at this challenge from two angles. One is to break down all the muscle movements involved and learn to manipulate them individually through simple drills. And the other is to listen to carefully selected example voices and learn to imitate them intuitively. You will get results much faster by using both, as you do in this guide. I think this will probably be more helpful than the video, just by the way they're talking about it right now. But it might not be, we'll find out. My approach to voice training is not a process of feminization, it is a journey of flexibility to full fluency over the entire possibility space of your voice. This guide is aimed at those of you who are already comfortable in the masculine end of the spectrum. Hang on. Okay. With the exercises that I've gathered here, you will familiarize yourself with the feminine end and everything in between. Once you have gained complete freedom over your vocal range, you can choose exactly where you'd like to live, whether that is within one voice or two, or three. Masculine, feminine, or androgynous, young or old, human or cartoon, any or all, it's up to you. So now listen to this clip to hear me demonstrate the 8 most important elements for vocal feminization, gradually transforming a masculine voice into a feminine one. Then listen to this clip to hear how they sound one at a time in isolation. With practice, you can learn to do this too. Alright, let's hear it. Oh.
Hey, it's Elle. So I'm going to do a demo of the 8 most important elements for vocal feminization. And this time I'm going to layer them on each other.
Hang on. Okay.
Starting with a masculine voice and building up to a feminine voice.
So, starting here in my masculine voice, if I raise my larynx, then my vocal tract length is shorter and it sounds a little brighter.
Interesting.
And then if I raise my pitch, so here's my pitch, it's higher,
Okay, that's
And
with the
then
heavy, I think.
I brighten my oral resonance by pushing my tongue up and forward and tightening my
Interesting.
lips and closing my jaw to make a really small oral cavity space.
Interesting.
Then it sounds like this. And then if I increase my open quotient for a softer sound, then it's not quite as buzzy. And then if I add some intonation changes so that my voice is going up and down in pitch as I talk, then it sounds also a little more feminine.
Interesting.
And then if I change the articulation so that my S's are brighter and all my consonants are a little more soft and bright, and then I shift my vowels up, like, oh my god, like up here, like they're like totally brighter, like, oh my god. So that's articulation. And then
Fascinating.
I add a little bit of vocal twang, like this edge to my voice, like when I need to speak up louder, or if I just want to sound more annoying or nasal, even though it's not actually nasal. This is the area epiglotic sphincter. And then lastly, I like to add a little bit of throat closure in the back of my mouth and throat. Like this, like constricting my oropharynx so that it sounds a little bit cuter and younger. Not so much that we sound like this. Not so much like this.
I'm about to
But,
sneeze.
Just
One
a little
second. There it is.
So yeah, this is basically my feminine voice. And then if you want to push that even further, I can go up in pitch. And then I have a lot of oral
Hi, Toy. Thank you. Awesome to have you. Goodbye.
oral cavity space.
Oh.
Really high larynx and
Hang on.
of that oral pharyngeal constriction.
Oh, that's what that was.
Kind of like a little
Anyhow, goodbye again, Toy.
it's a cartoon.
It's always good to have Toy around. There, awesome. I got distracted. The classic Toy combo. Love it. Right as the ad break rolls in. What was I about to do? Huh. Don't know. Well, we're gonna wait a second for this ad to stop so that we can continue on as we were. I'll figure out exactly where I was.
Have a lot of oral pharyngeal constriction. And my falsetto. Up in pitch. And my falsetto. And then I have a lot of oral pharyngeal constriction and a really small oral cavity space. Really
Fascinating.
and a lot of that oral pharyngeal constriction. It sounds kind of like a little kid or at least a cartoon character.
Definitely cartoon character.
And then down here, if I do the opposite, I push all those down in pitch to my vocal fry register like this, and I make my larynx low and my mouth big. Like this, I can sound hyper-masculine. Wow.
Fascinating.
That's how masculine it
Welcome
was.
back, y'all.
Okay.
So yeah, here's kind of an androgynous place. And yeah. So yeah, thanks guys.
Okay. So, see, they take from that YouTube channel we were just watching. So we'll see how well this works for us. This as well.
Hey, it's Elle. So I'm going to do a quick demo of the 8 most important elements of vocal feminization.
Starting with my masculine voice.
Okay.
If I raise my larynx, then my vocal tract length is shorter, making a brighter sound. And then
Interesting.
if I just raise my pitch about an octave, then I sound like I have a higher pitch. And now I'm in my falsetto and 2 octaves higher. It doesn't
Interesting.
sound very feminine. Now if I
Kind of shaped like a
change my
fish
oral
here.
resonance by pushing my tongue up and forward and tightening my lips, closing my jaw, very small space in the mouth. It's also bright, kind of like a raised larynx, but a
Interesting.
little different.
If I raise the larynx at the same time, then it's really bright.
Interesting.
And now if I go back down and I add a higher open quotient, very soft, soothing voice. It's another element. And then if I want to add some intonation changes, instead of a monotone voice like this, I can go with a lot of change in pitch like this, and I can emphasize words by going like, this is an emphasized word. Wow, very
Wowee.
feminine. Now, if I want to change my articulation, shifting the vowels brighter, like, oh my god, like, oh my god, like, oh my god,
Interesting.
yes, get that bright us, yes, oh my god, like, totally, 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 oh my god.
Interesting.
Very attractive.
I say that a lot.
Then if I want to add some vocal twang,
Twang.
I go like this. I am a robot. I am a vocal twang robot. Hello.
Wowee.
and then lastly, if I want to close off the back of my mouth and throat a little bit, constricting my oropharynx.
Constricting the oropharynx, and you sound
Oh,
a little bit like this.
like that one guy from that one Disney movie.
Very, very, very attractive and feminine sounding, as you can see here.
So yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay. So with that said, that's very interesting. I think that going over the exact muscles is going to be better, because then I can know for sure if I'm doing it right, because then it'll be easier to, I'll know if I'm doing it right because I'll know what muscles are or aren't involved. And hopefully I'll be able to feel that. Let's practice. You can do this too. Most of the material in this guide can be traced back to the pioneering work of hang on. This maybe is close. Hang on.
Scanna.
No one says gone though.
Jana.
Jana.
Zanna.
Scanna.
So we might say Sheena, something along those lines. Trans voice lessons, as well as the excellent free tutorial at New York Vocal Coaching. Many thanks also to the Psylinguistics community, and of course all you lovely people here on Trans Voice. I've organized this guide into 4 levels from Foundation to Mastery, each split into 3 subsections. You could easily spend a month on each level, a week or 2 per subsection, but you don't have to master each subsection before moving on to the next. Just give yourself enough time to digest the material and get a feel for it, and then start the next subsection as soon as you no longer feel overwhelmed. Ready? Let's begin. So, you guys think we push our way through some of these sections here? Or do you think we play around in the pitch speech and hearing net thing for a bit and see what we can do there? Because either way works for me. It depends on what you guys are more invested in. In fact, my water's empty. This is actually the perfect time to let you guys stew over it in my new Be Right Back screen, which I think turned out really well if you look at it here. Yeah, it's so fancy. In fact, I should do something about the positioning in chat so y'all can see. Hang on, refresh that maybe. Yeah. I'll just clear chest for now so y'all can look at the flower because I think it looks pretty nice. Anyway, as it says, I'll be right back. It's me. I'm back. All right. Wow. Let's click on here. Oh, model fix. Thank you. Okay. So, let's see. Oh. Alright, we do know what time it is. Let me see about popping that in. Alright. We already know the word. We're banning the word strive. Okay. So, now let's try it. Oh, I can say it just fine. Interesting. Haven't stopped me. We need someone else to test it out, just to see if it works or not. Crazy that you got that many points that quickly, though. Especially after... Oh, it just didn't post your message? Interesting. So do you think... Hang on. Well... Gotta make it timeout instead. Let me see what I can do. Here, let's say instead of like this, we will go says it wasn't posted due to conflicts with the channel's moderation status. Okay, good to know. So there we go. Basically, it's not any like fancy automatic thing right now. What it is, it's just in the chat rules for when you first open the stream and stuff. The new rule is going to say that, you know, one of the rules is that Strive is banned. And I will time out for that. Let me test timing out really quick. I need to... 600 seconds by default. Is there a way I can edit that? Hang on. Interesting. I wonder if it goes like... Okay, so I can go like this. You're my guinea pig right now, Morgan, in case you couldn't tell. Interesting. Good to know. Well. Oh, interesting. It deleted your messages. Oh, I see. How interesting. Didn't expect that. And hang on. I'm pretty sure, hang on. There we go. And then we test again. Okay, yeah. For some reason, my code wasn't working to make it alternate sides of where chat appears. It was just being on the right. So, refreshing it seems to have fixed it. Anyway, sorry about your chat messages. Happens. Now then. Let's see. We've got 20 minutes left in stream. I think, let me see. Well, y'all probably aren't too invested in polls. It's all good. There's about 20 minutes left in stream. So what I'm wondering is if we want to keep looking at voice training stuff, or if we want to do something else for a little bit. You know? Because totally willing to leave it up to you guys if you want. Because, let's see. What's this video? So we can either watch this video, do something else 20 minutes. Either way. Did I catch up with my Duolingo streak? That's what I want to know. You don't know? Fair enough. AO3 story I follow updated, that's pretty neat. Then I think we're gonna watch this video at the very least.
Hi, I'm Ziana from transvoicelessons.com, and in this
Oh,
video,
Ziana.
I want to show you how I turned
This voice?
into this voice, okay? Took me 2 years, but
How
I'm
was
gonna
my
tell you
day?
in one
My day was pretty nice. I didn't do all that much, I'm gonna be honest. But you know, it's not bad.
1 minute. If you do all these things, you'll be able to yell, you'll be able to cough. It doesn't matter, because we're changing the instrument, not our behavior, okay? So 1. The first thing we have to deal with is pitch.
Me? So recently I've only really been going to the school Mondays, for the meetings at the club. I technically could show up tomorrow, but I don't really want to leave the house, especially since that'd be in like less than 12 hours, because I'd usually prefer leaving the house at 8:30 in the morning so I can get the 9 o'clock bus. And yeah, I think I want to sleep in.
Pitch is pretty obvious. In fact, I think everyone's spending too much time focusing on pitch. I can actually pass and sound like a girl at a low pitch, or I can sound like a boy at a high pitch. It doesn't matter. Pitch is not that big of a deal. Okay. 2. The next thing that we have to deal with is larynx height. Okay. So
Okay.
let me just demonstrate the sound. So if I'm a very low larynx position like this, I start to raise the larynx up, start to raise the larynx up, start to raise the larynx up. Okay, so that's a huge deal.
Interesting.
The larynx height is super important. 3.
Interesting,
Engaging the
interesting,
AS.
interesting,
So the AS, when it's engaged, it sounds like this. We need to bring some of that into our sound, okay?
Interesting.
4.
Interesting.
Vowel
interesting.
formation. So your becomes your becomes your becomes e, your e becomes e, your e becomes e, right? So we have to shift all of our vowels brighter. 5. So consonants formation. We're going to change the way and where we actually form our S's, our CH's, our plosives, etc.
Interesting.
And when you combine all those things together, you can yell, you can do whatever you want in a girl voice. It really doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm Ziana from Trans Voice Lessons. If you want to work together, please just message me, or if you have any questions, post below in the comments, whatever. Yeah, good luck.
Allergies were bad today. Oh yeah, that's another reason I don't want to leave the house. Allergies have been kicking my butt even indoors. Or at least in the shower. Well, that's interesting. So just fine. Alright, well. It looks like it's giving me homework. Which means that that's a good point to, you hate allergies, me too. Anyhow, it's giving me homework, so that means this is probably a good place to, look at something else for a bit. So that's what we're gonna do. We might as well switch over to like this. Yeah. Because we're just gonna be talking for a bit, methinks. While we, put this over here, why not? Yeah. Because this is kind of the plan for the next 15 or so minutes before I choose to end stream. You know? Wait, hang on a second. Yeah. Huh. Bit of a shorter stream, but that's okay. If you head to Miso stream after this, you should tell her about the word. That I will. No problem, no problem. Now's a good time to talk about my Discord server. I can go like that. And also my feedback form. I put it like that. You have 1K channel points. People are earning channel points really quickly, huh? Might have to raise prices. Well, I guess, oh. Never mind, that's fine. I'm noticing the stream avatar is going behind. You have 623S. That's DP. Please know you need to redeem things. I understand that, but like, redeeming too many things can't be good. I guess it just means that people who watch for any length of time. Sin Kiss KDP. It's also Bridget DP. So, wait, no, actually, Bridget is punch instead of slash. You've spent close to 10,000 points. Came back to congratulate me on a good job. Thank you. It's awesome. Yeah, it's a kind of a tough thing to get used to. You didn't know I had a Discord? Yeah, I do. It's kind of neat. I talk about stuff there. Put polls up sometimes for, you know, whenever I want to not make a decision. Practice and repetition can do a lot. It really can. Both in Guilty Gear Strive and with voice training. So hopefully I can get some practice with both. Eventually I'm sure it'll become second nature. Yeah, that's the goal. I'll definitely be thinking about it. This chord is only a little neat. Yes. It's not much, but it's okay. The monitor to my left over there, my younger siblings, it's getting an ad or something for Adobe Acrobat Reader. So that's kind of funny. Let's see. 624 6H to 6H to 6H to 5H. Interesting. Don't know what that's for. So let's see. 6246. It's for Sin. Okay. Oh, I think that's a good night. The finale for your show is coming in like an hour. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Good night, toy. Yeah, I'll be thinking about the voice training stuff on my own time between streams. Then next time, somebody like Morgan, who has a whole bunch of points, decides to redeem a voice training stream, maybe we'll make a bit more progress, or at least I'll be able to show off some progress. Don't know. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with. I don't have viewer count on, but I'm seeing like 6 or so little avatar guys, and that's pretty nice. I didn't expect that many to be interested in this stream. With Guilty Gear, it makes more sense because they might be able to play. It'll be a few more streams before that, not a problem. I prefer it that way, actually. But yeah, very fun. I also need to think about appointing a moderator, because I can't do it all myself all the time. It's hard to find someone worthy, you know? What happens if you say the banned word? Technically nothing happens, but I just type in my chat /timeout at username duration. You know? Raise his hand. But yeah, nothing actually happens if you say it. Oh, you want to be mod? I mean, I suppose that's I'll consider it. Because I know you. I will consider it between streams. I know you, I can trust you. You're a good candidate. You show up. The more I think about it, the more it seems like a good idea. Pick Morgan, you you wouldn't be a good mod. That's fair enough. Plus, I can't just appoint everyone in my chat to be a mod. That'd just be chaos. Although I do also know you, so. Shiny. Yes. Shiny is a good candidate. I lost my train of thought. It's gone now. Oof. Yes. I wonder what, hang on. If I click scripts, and I go, you think you can already shout people because VIP, that's true. But check this out. If I go Control O? No. I've forgotten what my... Well, hang on. Try this one instead. Because I'm silly and couldn't figure it out properly. Anyhow, if I go over to settings and I look at my hotkeys, it's Control F1. Alright, I can go like this. Wah! And just shake. It's silly. I tried setting up so that you could do that with a command in chat, but as it turns out, I don't know enough about HTML. Oh! Like that, yeah. How fun. What's this about? Notification? Oh! Somebody missed their chance to raid me, that is A-okay. Oh, I didn't get the chance to put off this ad break. Womp womp. Alright. Well, let's see. Click. Huh, interesting. No ads for you? That's true. Anyway, what was I about to say? I keep losing my train of thought. Next up, I think I should make a stream ending soon screen, but I don't know if I'd use it because I usually raid out into people. So we'll see. You don't have ads for some reason? That, it's a good question. I don't actually know why that is. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, I think the saying goes. Now, I wonder... What I want right now is to have this be behind this, but in front of that. I don't think that's possible. No, they aren't subscribed. You'd be able to see it in their badges. I think they just got lucky. Maybe their ad blocker works. If they have an ad blocker, that is. Something along those lines, though. Sometimes the ad just doesn't load. Happens. Don't have one for Twitch? Yeah, no idea. Sometimes the ads just don't work. Let's see. Yeah, I think I think raiding into Miso is probably what I'm gonna do. We're gonna push this time length a little bit longer. Just cause we can. Do any of y'all have any last questions for these last 7 minutes we can talk about? I think, let's see. Yeah. Well, I keep losing my train of thought. I keep thinking of something and then forgetting it. Oh, I also have, I have all the links to other things on my Discord. So if you want to find other social media things, they're on the Discord. Head empty, so empty indeed. Let's see. Oh, we can go like this. Like so. Oh, a girl asked for your number? That's cool. Hang on. Doesn't seem like the Stream Elements one actually worked. I wonder why that is. I think I need to add a sound alert thing to this particular overlay for it to actually work. But yeah. Fascinating. But yeah, it is exciting that someone asked for your number. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. You've got the Riz, as the kids are saying these days. To the head empty thing? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Now let me see. Oh, I can also pull up this. I can pull out my stream avatars. I can explode y'all. Me and Miso are so cringe. Or are you talking to Sharky and Miso? That's funny. Sending y'all all around the screen just for fun. Can do a few different things. Hang on. We can go sound. I don't hear any sound, so I don't think that works. Can pin you there. Can pin you there. Can put toy just over here. How dare you hurt your Flareon? No, they're fine. They're just pinned. Don't worry about it. Can also slingshot a little bit. Doesn't work so well when they're on the ground like this is all. Risco, you're getting flung a little. Ah! That's so much fun. Yeah. Get you down. I think instead we're gonna click spawn a guy. Oh, whoops. Gonna click. We're gonna click. We right click. Then the avatar is gonna be Gengar, I think. Ta-da. Yep. Okay, hang on. Then I think I need to go like that to unpin. Yeah. It's pretty fun messing with the stream avatar stuff. I can put this Gengar right there. So now we have a Gengar as decoration. But I can also go back to this and right click and he fades out. How fun! Yes. I'm gonna raid out now, I think. I think we've had our fun. I think now people kind of get what the vibe is gonna be like for the voice. He's doing Gengar thing. I think people get what the vibe is going to be like for other voice training streams. It's shorter than most by like half an hour, but I think that's okay. I think I got pretty tired faster than I thought, and I was also EP today in general. So we're going to raid into Miso. Uh-huh. Was a vibe, indeed. It was fun, thank you. Alright, then I think we're gonna head out now. Again, thanks for watching, and bye.